Most people think they know George Washington, America's first president, but how much do you really know about him? Here are some facts you might not know. I led the American colonies to victory against Britain in the Revolutionary War. After serving my country as a military officer in various wars, I was appointed commander-in-chief of the Continental Army at the start of the Revolutionary War. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, I led the troops to several key victories, including the Battle of Trenton and the Battle of Yorktown, which secured our independence and ultimately led to the Treaty of Paris in 1783. Okay, so some of you might be thinking, wait a minute, didn't we have like a king at the time? The thing is, by the time the war started, King George II had gone completely. Well, let's just say he wasn't too happy with the colonies. He cut off trade with them and sent soldiers to arrest people who didn't pay their taxes. So yeah, we weren't exactly on good terms with the king at the time. After the war, I presided over the Constitutional Convention that drafted the U.S. Constitution in 1787. The thing is, we didn't have a government at the time, so we needed a constitution to, get things started. And who better to lead that effort than the man who just led us to victory in the war? I mean, I might be a little biased, but it was pretty important work. We created a new form of government, a government by the people, for the people. And then I became the first U.S. president from 1789 to 1797, was elected unanimously by the Electoral College. I kid you not. There was no contest. It was pretty cool, actually. But also kind of weird because, no one had ever done it before. I served to full terms, setting precedents for presidential behavior and decision-making. And then I refused to run for a third term. I figured 2 terms was enough. Why fight for a third when I can help someone else get elected and set the precedent for term limits? You're welcome. During my presidency, I established the basic structure and policies of the federal government, appointed the first cabinet, set up the first departments. The usual. I also worked to maintain neutrality in foreign policy, avoiding the conflicts of the old world and focusing on building a strong foundation for the new world. But maybe most importantly, I'm known as the father of his country. Now, this wasn't because I sired children, although I did raise 2 stepchildren of sorts. See? My wife, Martha, had children from her previous marriage, but she lost both of them. So I became their stepfather and helped raise them as my own. But the reason I am called the father of his country is because of my leadership and my character. Now, some might say the title is a bit ironic since I owned slaves. But keep in mind, every president at the time owned slaves except for one, James Madison. And it was a very different time. Plus, I did free all of the slaves in my will. I guess, in a way, you could say I'm the OG slave liberator. Anyway, I've had no desire to be called the King of America, even though at one point during the Constitutional Convention, someone jokingly referred to me as king. I just laughed and said, "Don't be ridiculous. I wanted to be president, not king." And when my term was over, I gave up power, went back to being a farmer, and enjoyed my life. Oh, and I gave up power again after my second term as president, setting an important precedent for peaceful transitions of power. Sometimes people ask why I did this or that or the other. Like, why did I wear a powdered wig? Or why did I chop down that cherry tree? Listen, if you want to know more about me, there's a mountain of books and articles out there. Just read them. You'll learn all about me. By the way, my face is on a US $1 bill and a quarter coin. Not that I care about such things, but it's kind of cool. Okay, now, if you'll excuse me, I hear a revolution starting and I have a war to win. Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed meeting President Washington. To learn more about the president, including those who came after me, visit the official website of the White House.